I was inspired originally by the Hope poster with Barack Obama's image on it. There was a whole series of those. They said hope, change, progress. I wanted to do a whole edition of different donuts that all had those slogans underneath them. So far I've only done one, but...
And then I placed the cutout donut on top of that, and that is the finished poster.
Hi, I'm Jen Graves, and I wrote an article called Yes We Can Art about Obama art. It just tracked as kind of mania. There were sales, thousands of dollars of sales on eBay in a single month or something, and I think meanwhile there were like $57 worth of sales of McCain-related art. I started wondering what, where was all this coming from and what did it all look like and why Obama, why not McCain?
I'm a portrait artist mostly, and I usually paint people that I am in love with. That makes sense. So family, boyfriend, that sort of thing. And so it was just this weird crossover into being enamored of a public figure. I grew up in Seattle. I've lived in Green Lake and Ballard and all these different neighborhoods. And you can just get away with being a lot more expressive in Capitol Hill than other neighborhoods. This is why I moved here. So it's all connected for me. This idea of neighborhood, being able to be really expressive and living in Capitol Hill.
Originally I was intended to get like just all very similar colors. Then I saw one of them where it was like different.
Yeah.
And I thought that like, what if there's like a little pop to it, so. This summer we caught word that Ron English, the artist who created these pieces, was looking for places to install it across the country. Due to the size, they're 8 feet wide by 13 feet tall. It's hard, there's not very many just clear walls that are like that. We wanted to find a place that was legal, not do it illegally, just because we wanted to maintain the integrity of the image.
They're just paper, and if it gets tagged, then we'll just tear it down.
Ironically enough, right about this time, I was doing a project looking at large displays in third places. So I've been thinking a lot about it already. Like, how does a community express itself in a third place? It's a sense of sort of asynchronous, we're in the same place, but we're rarely actually there at the same time. And how do we communicate with each other? And what is the sort of voice of the community?
Capitol Hill really rallied around the election, I mean, it felt like a very political place to be.
This neighborhood, it's like preaching to the converted, but I wanted to show my support.
Probably more in value in just the materials and production time that's gone into this than what I'm selling them for, but ultimately the goal was just to get them out into the world.
It's just been amazing to me, the sort of strong emotional reaction that people have experienced around Obama, and I certainly have been feeling it myself.
Yeah, I think that heart is actually a pretty good representation of the reaction I've gotten from people. I actually did not paint that, somebody else did.
So one day I was reading the Stranger blog and I saw that Jen Graves, the art person there, had posted a link to Damien's gallery, who was searching for a home for this installation. Contacted him and said, are you still looking for a spot? We have 42 buildings around Seattle, and I can think of one in particular that it would be perfect for.
There's a piece of art that I immediately thought of when I saw the Abraham Obama. And it's a 1983 digital composite photograph. It's the faces of Stalin, Mussolini, Mao, Hitler, and Khomeini, all piled on top of one another and then kind of combined. When you look at this image, you can still see each of their faces, kind of, but you also come to realize sort of the way that history has taught you to see them as sort of one guy, you know, this just like bad guy, you know. And I think what made me think of that, you know, is that Abraham Obama is supposed to make you see one guy, good guy, in government, you know, and I think that's what makes me uncomfortable about a lot of this art. I mean, it's a kind of a Bushism to say you're either with us or you're against us. You know, this is either black or white. I think they were making conscious decisions between making nuanced works about the president and making simple works for the president, for the future, for the election, you know, for the candidate is what I mean. They chose not to be particularly nuanced in favor of like raising money and like convincing people, you know. These are rhetorical works of art. They're not meant for kind of contemplation, you know. And I think some of the art was sort of aware of that and a little nervous about that.
I've had to wrestle with those feelings in doing this project because I question whether is it adding to like a mythology about Barack Obama before he's had a chance to prove himself worthy of all the adoration that he's had. You know, so far he has. He seems to be a very confident, you know, intelligent individual, and you know, we could do worse.